what's up, yins guys? It's the show. It's the show, it's the show, it's the asshole cooking show. And today's show, we're going to do a meatloaf that's made out of this meatloaf here that I bought in the store, like 3 different types of meat. I made this before, and my partner liked it, but I didn't record it. It turned out pretty well. I never worked with this before. I did other meatloafs, and I wish I did record it, but this time I'm going to. See, I didn't know how it was going to turn out. If I knew it was going to turn out good the last time, I would have recorded it then. But okay, here we go. This is our first step. Okay, so this is, I just opened up this packaging. This is what it's called, a meatloaf mix. 3 different meats there. I'm going to bust this all apart into this bowl here. This is going to be enough of meatloaf for probably 2 meals here. Just going to take us in, whoops, almost, that's close. But then what we're going to do here is, I'm going to have to put the camera down because I'm going to break these eggs. I didn't put eggs in it the last time, the one that I didn't record, so I didn't have any, but I'm going to put eggs in it this time, so put this camera on a thing. So I'm going to take the eggs, these last of my eggs that I got here. This is a good amount of meatloaf, so I'm going to take these eggs, put them in here. I'm going to mix this together. Yeah, don't want a shell in there. Sometimes that happens. Don't want that. And I'm going to clean up after myself immediately as possible here. Get the all the egg off of my hands. I'm going to pick up the camera here and then show you what's like inside. Oh, and we usually, my partner used to have me put breadcrumbs in a meatloaf. We got a little bit of, so this is just this last couple pieces of bread. We don't need a hell of a lot of breadcrumbs, but I want to use this up. This will be really small in there. You can't always tell it's there, but we're going to just, I'm going to just real fine into crumbs, just pulverize this into crumbs. You can get those regular breadcrumbs that you buy in the store for a variety of things. I got a whole other loaf of bread that I'm going to use for toast other days, so I'm going to hurry up and use this up because you don't want bread to go bad and bread sitting around. And I'm going to have a little marbled effect here. The last meatloaf thing that I didn't record, I used some of this cheese, so, and it'll have like a marbled effect, so we're going to throw that in. And the cheese kind of melts together and has kind of like a marbled effect going on, so we're going to mix this up. So we got all this here, and I'm going to preheat the oven here while I'm at it to about, nope, not that high. About maybe 350 degrees. Hit that there and preheat that. So I'm going to do 2 hands off camera, but I'm going to take this and mix it all up. I'm just going to show you the basic idea with 1 hand here. I'm going to mix this shit up real good, and I'm going to do 2 hands off camera, but I'm just going to like really get my hands into it and mix that shit up really good and smush it and splat, crush it like this, mush it and smush it, and then pulverize it. And then we're gonna, oh, it's cold too. I had it out of the fridge for a few minutes. I had it in the fridge because I had it thawed. Ooh, that's still cold. Ew, that shit's cold. I had to pause the camera there to kind of wash my hands because I'm gonna use a little bit of this, but since my partner's eating this too, I'm not going to overdo this. I'm just going to use a dash. Very little bit, and then I'm going to put these bouillon cubes in here. If this was me, I'd be like, I already made 2 meals already with, because it's the asshole cooking show, throwing a dump. If it's for you, you know, just you by yourself, you know, I'm into the asshole cooking show and just dumping the garlic, but it was just a quick dash. And just a little bit of these minced onion, because at one time you can overdo it with minced onion. If it was myself, you know, with the minced onion and garlic, you'll be farting like a chainsaw and everything else. But we're going to add a little bit to balance the flavor out this time. You know what I mean? And depending on you, we're going to add a little bit of pepper. That's all, folks. And a dash. Don't really want anything real. Just a hint. A dash, a little dash. But if you're a person that likes a lot of pepper, or even red pepper or cayenne pepper, there are people that really pepper up their meatloafs, and they put in hot pepper. But we're not going to do that. Little hints. You don't want to. Just to add other spices. Oh, and these bouillon cubes. I usually use beef and chicken bouillon for extra packets for the ramen noodles. There's a lot of people that buy them and eat the ramen noodles just to eat them. You know what I mean? And then you got the bouillon left over. But this time I ran out of there. All I got is chicken, so we got these. And then when you got these things, you kind of got to pulverize them and throw them in there. But we're just going to add about 2. They can be pretty strong, but if you want to add a little bit more and add about 4 or even more, that's up to you. But that's what I'm going to do here. I got these sitting here too, and I want to use them up. Got a whole bunch of, and in this cup here, that they're all chicken. A lot of people like to eat them, the ramen noodles, just like that, dry, and my partner does that every once in a while. And I have friends that do it. So yeah, that's a tip for you. You know, if you do, you know anybody that does that, save the bouillon, because if you got to pay good money for bouillon cubes anyway, you know what I'm saying, when you want to use them. And if you know anybody that eats their ramen noodles, you know, without the bouillon or whatever, and they got a bunch, tell them to save it for you. Well, I'm not going to do a 3-4 page talk on that. I want to go overdo it, but I'm going to off camera. I'm going to crush these up. Put the camera down for a second. All right, so I got these out of the foil, and then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to pulverize them here. I'm going to grab these like so, and I'm going to just, haha. And then I'm going to take that, and I'm going to, haha. There we go. Then I'm going to mix that up. I'm going to just, right like that, then that makes sure that dissolves. I'm going to crush them into dust and make sure that dissolves. And I'm going to go off camera and just do this with 2 hands and take my time, so I'm going to get the idea of it. Oh, and I almost forgot. We're going to add a dash of Worcestershire. Just a quick dash, not too much. I know you could over Worcestershire sauce is some pretty strong stuff. If you do too much, it can be pretty strong. So we're going to mix this up. I've gotten it pretty mixed already, but I'm going to, like I said, pound it like that, punch it, beat it up really good, and then kapow. Ew. Beat it. Just beat it. and then just claw it and flip it. And, okay, so off camera, I'm going to just use 2 hands real quick, and then I'm going to switch to camera view and put this on my smartphone holder there. And then we're going to make it into a loaf. I'm going to point the camera kind of so you see me making it into a loaf. All right, yins guys. I kind of did the mixing with 2 hands off camera. And I was going to kind of show you how I made it into a loaf by and put in a smartphone holder. But I don't know. That's self-explanatory. It seems like I pretty much did that anyway. I got this glass pan here. Notice in this kitchen we have, limited space. A hell of a nice neighborhood, nice place, but the kitchen's a little nicer, but there's not a hell of a lot of room. Well, there's more room in a sense because here, cupboards. Well, this is how I got to store all my other cookware here because there's no room under the sink. We got, my partner ordered online some of them racks where you can hang all your spoons, and all this stuff is going to be hanging on a nice rack. I just didn't put it up yet, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, yeah, like I could have had you watch me put it in a loaf like that and all that, but we're just gonna throw that in there. See, I made it into a loaf. If I want, I can spread it out in this pan like that. I can shape it kind of a little better. But like you can roll it around, take it with both hands and roll it around on the board. I could do a little demonstration for you and all that, but I don't know. Just like you're rolling dough, that doesn't take a rocket science, really. I mean, just like what I'm doing now, but say with 2 hands, put it on see, I got my wooden cutting board like this, or I even got this pan or whatever, but anything you want to use, a dish, but roll it like dough, shape it any way you feel like, but alright. So I got this all turned into a loaf. I'm going to get some foil and cover it up. I don't know, some people like to just have it slightly, the heat making it crusted on the top, but you don't want to burn it either. I would rather cover it with foil, don't get no splatter in the stove. And I don't like the idea of having, say it gets overcooked and almost burnt, too darkened on the outside, and then undercooked on the inside. And even with a self-cleaning oven, it can get kind of funky in there with all the grease splattering, and then you can end up having to buy some easy off to clean your stove or whatever. But so, okay, enough of talk there. We're just going to cover it with foil. We got this covered with foil. And I'll say one thing I found in a cupboard too. When I first moved to this new place, me and my partner first moved to this new place, I saw this in the store. I didn't even see it at Walmart. I just wandered in a particular cooking section. I want to make something with this. I did not put this in a meatloaf. And I asked people this mint sauce. Because I actually make tea with mint that you pick up that's, there's a lot of mint that grows like all over the place, like wild mint and all that. I make tea, but mint sauce, and I asked somebody what you do with it, and they said it's mostly for like lamb and stuff. I can Google it and see what else you use it for. It says like it's made out of Egyptian mint or something like that, but I'm just show and tell kind of thing. But I'm gonna do something just so that I can use that mint sauce, do a cooking show one of these days. I don't know when, but we're gonna check on this in about an hour. I'm going to put this in here, and with the cheese, that's the last of my cheese that I put in there. It creates kind of like a slightly marbled effect, but that amount of cheese that I got left over, I doubt if it's going to have very much of a marbled effect, but it's going to be good nonetheless. So I'm going to, you're going to see me in see you in about an hour when we check on this. Hour and a half, I'll just check and see if it's done in the middle. Because I got it about 350. Sometimes I usually use 400 degrees, but I'm going to cook it a little slower, 350. Because it's a little bit like early yet, but I just want to get this done, but cook something a little slower. And like I said, don't want to cook things too fast, burning and everything else, or if it gets overdone on the outside and underdone in the raw inside, you don't want that. But meanwhile, I'm going to clean up after myself, wash this bowl, put shit away, and see you when I do the unveiling, take it out of the stove. Alright, we're going to check on this. Take this carefully. It's sizzling away there. Whew. We're going to pull it out for a little bit, and I'm going to get rid of some of this grease, because then I'm going to make it so that I can take a better picture of it here too. Have a look at this. My worry is, like, say, how much grease this makes, and yeah, it made quite a bit. I was afraid it was going to cook in here, boil over. So I'm going to get rid of some of this grease, and I'm going to bake this with the foil off for another half an hour. So we're going to go ahead and dump this grease. Right, so I'm going to turn the water on here. You don't see this, I do got some water in a sink turned on. So what we're going to do real quick here, I'm going to take my glove, I'm going to take this other glove, I'm going to get rid of some of this. This is a lot. There. Alright. I'm going to leave a little bit of there, so I'm going to leave a little bit of the grease in. I'm doing it this way because I have this like smaller pan. Alright, so that's what it looks like. I kind of took the some of that grease out. I was afraid it was going to boil over. I was using this Pyrex here. So what we're going to do is I'm leaving this on, the stove on. I'm going to put it in for another half an hour, and I'm going to kind of maybe so on the surface it looks the outer surface. I'm disappointed it didn't get like the marbled look with cheese swirling in it, but that was the last of the cheese I got. So anyway, if I got to do that again one of these days when I got more cheese. I got other provolone and white American and lunch meat cheese, but I don't want to do that. But I used the last of that mozzarella. There was one time I didn't record it. I had used a lot more, so some good advice to you. If you got the mozzarella cheese, you can add more. And when you add more in the mix, it'll swirl up and it'll look kind of marbled. Kind of like I don't want to say marbled effect, but anyway, I wanted to, with the foil off, get rid of foil. So now the grease is gotten rid of, right? So I don't got to worry about it splattering all over in my stove. And I figured maybe let it get browned a little bit so it looks cooked on the outside, but it's going to taste good nonetheless. Not like it looks the greatest in the world, but yeah, my partner liked it last time I made it. But like I said, I ran out of the cheese that you saw me put in there. I used some of it for my last video when I made the garlic and eggs. But if you use more of the cheese, you can really go to town with the cheese. Get really crazy with the cheese. I gotta clean the stove. I kind of, a little bit of a mess there, but alright, so anyway, stay tuned. In another half hour, we're going to do the unveiling. Alright, I just have this in here, but I just check on it anyway. I don't know if you can see this, but right away I only had it in a couple minutes, but it's actually, unlike when you had it in inside the foil, with grease in there, it precipitates and then cooks everything around. I got rid of most of the grease, so now that's rolling off of there. Like you can, if I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but that grease that's on top is rolling off of there. I can see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, okay? And I'm going to take it out in about 2:30, and hopefully you see these hot irons just, they're going to cool off under this electric stove. See that that's powering down. And the reason why I want to do this, okay, too, let that residual heat cook the rest in that grease. Yeah, I can see over there. I don't know if it'll steam up the camera. We're on the camera with this. But it's rolling off of there instead of precipitating inside a foil. And we want to give a meatloaf color this time and darken it up a little bit on the outside. And the residual heat for like until 2:30 for a half hour. The reason why I like to do this, say if any of you guys who don't cook that much and you wanted to do any of my videos, this is important, okay, for safety reasons. I like to do this. I turned it off and take it out about 2:30. We're letting this stove power down, right? And it gets less hot. And then, you know, so your face ain't burning. Well, just in case prevent any kind of accidental burning of yourself or any kind of crap like that. And a lot of us don't want to eat it when a lot of us don't have a Kevlar mouth or asbestos tongue, you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't know, prevent any weird accidents that, say, I don't know, you want to trip and fall face first on a hot oven. Or I don't know if anybody watching that has any kind of little medical issues or something. If you got this far in this video, I advise you, let residual heat cook it, and then it powers down. The heat goes down. You know what I mean? In another half hour. And you're not going to, when you go to take it out, you're not going to risk getting any severe burns or any kind of shit like that. That's the way I like to do it. And plus that residual heat starts powering down, and it's cooking it a little bit too. And then if you happen to accidentally undercook something a little bit, all you got to do is pop it in the microwave before you go and eat it on your plate. That's all. No big freaking deal. But I would rather see you slightly undercook something a little bit, or well, you can stick it with a knife and tell inside if something's done. But I would rather see you accidentally not overcook or undercook something, right? Throw it in the microwave rather than see any of you guys burn yourself, get any severe burns or any kind of crap like that. So anyway, stay tuned for another basically less than a half hour. We're going to go ahead and take it out and then serve it on the plate and all that crap. Right, guys, I've got the Love glove here. I'm going to take this out. See? It's like warm in here. My face isn't burning. And look at that. It's got the consistency going here. I want to try to take this out of here. Get this. And hopefully, let's see how that cooked. Oh yeah, it's brown there inside. There's no red meat or anything in there. The light don't play tricks on your eyes there. But yeah, it's cooked. And it'll be plenty in the microwave for later. Tasty. Yeah. Oh, it's good. Okay. Serve this up. Give some of this to my partner. Put some ketchup on here. I'll probably have ketchup on the side. Ketchup on the side for myself too. But I'm going to serve this. And then I'm going to have mine. Yeah. Alright. The ketchup. Get some ketchup to throw on the side there. There. Some ketchup on the side. Alright. Alright. Put this aside and... Alright, I'm gonna serve mine and all that. This here. Move this aside. Do the ritualistic serving of mine on the plate before I end the video. Yeah, I don't really have to go through all that, but since I'm making a video, I might as well play that all through. And then take that out. And see, we'll have this for tomorrow, too. Alright. So look at all that. We'll have that for tomorrow, too. So while I have the ketchup out, too. Yeah, that's another thing, too. When I show you the video and serve hers and then mine, I get to do this again. I get to go with the ketchup. I get to go... Just because I wanted to do that, you know. Because after all, this is the asshole cooking show, and you get to do those things, you know. Alright, so this turned out real good. And I'm going to try another piece here. Yeah. Oh, perfect. And then, like, it can be for microwaving for tomorrow. Yeah. I should be having it with the ketchup, but I'm gonna. There. When I sit down to eat there. Alright, you guys. There you have it. There's my 3-meat meatloaf. Or 3-meat cheesy meatloaf. Whatever you want to call it. So, hope you enjoyed that, and hope you enjoyed the little safety tip in the end, you know. Power down your stove, you know, so you don't burn yourself if you want to do that. Some good advice. That was good. So, alright, thank you for watching the show. This has been the show. If I roll the end credits, I don't know if we had any. It would be really simple end credits, but really simple and to the point theme song. This has been the show, the asshole cooking show, the show. Whoa. Thank you for watching the show.